Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing your November horoscopes. So we're going to start with the collective, then we're going to go into the 12 signs. As always, I recommend you to start watching these horoscopes with your rising sign. Of course, don't skip the collective because I'll explain the energies and the transits more in detail. And once you've checked your rising sign, I do recommend that you go into your sun and moon signs as well. So anyway guys, without any further ado, let's get started. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget that we are changing the format on this channel, so any help with you sharing these videos while algorithm is adjusting is highly appreciated. Also check out my other channel as well. I started posting on both, more content, so hope to connect with you here and there. Check out our Patreon as well. We just recently launched it. Hope to see you there as well. And just another quick announcement, since it is Halloween when I'm posting this, everything in my shop is 30% off today, tomorrow, and the Halloween days. So hope to see you. If you need anything 2025 personalized prediction, any packages, any personal readings, it's all available. I try to make it very affordable for you for Halloween season and for Scorpio birthday season as well, because I know there are quite a few of you are watching us who are Scorpios. So I hope you enjoy. Treat yourself for your birthday, get yourself a little birthday present. I do recommend getting your 2025 prediction or your chart reading. This could be great, to be honest. But even if you need love readings, still there are these options available. And I'm also taking, by the way, we've announced this yesterday, I'm taking one more one-on-one student for a study opportunity, apprenticeship opportunity with me, where I'm going to be teaching you secrets of tarot and astrology. So check out the option to register is down below. Hope to see you there soon. Love you all. Let's get started. Okay, you guys, so I'm not going to beat around the bush. November does look like a pretty intense month, and I don't want to just say that, oh, it's going to be so intense and so bad. But there are some chances that are pretty gnarly when it comes to the month of November, and we'll try to see what's best way of tackling these energies, what's likely gonna happen. Myself, I've been feeling this energy of Mars opposition to Pluto very intensely in the past few days, and it's not even exact yet, so finger crossed. Finger crossed. This is the worst of it. This is interesting because this is actually how the month starts. So the month starts with new moon of Scorpio. I did a separate video on this. Check out if you want to go deeper into that specific topic. So November 1st we do have the new moon of Scorpio, and right around the same time, around November 3rd, we have of course this exact opposition of Mars 29 degrees Cancerian to Pluto 29 degrees of Capricorn, and at the same time Venus opposing Jupiter. Venus is in Sagittarius, Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini. So this is very intense, where the very first week of November we might feel like we are literally battling our own demons. There might be this polarity, there might be this disconnect between where we want to be, where we actually are. We might even be going back and forth. One day you might be like, oh, I'm quitting this business, I'm quitting this job, I'm quitting this relationship, marriage, or whatever it is. I want to live a completely different life. And another day you're like, no, I'm going to be working, I'm going to try to make it work. And it's some kind of inner battle that obviously for each of us it's different, it's individual. And I think at the end of the day it's us versus us, right? It always seems like all these conflicts are external, all these issues are external, but really everything is within, right? Note to self, to follow my own philosophy on that one. But yeah, so with this intense oppositions, we might be like pulled in two different directions, or so it might seem. Of course, for the world and the United States, but for the world itself, the first week of November is about United States presidential elections. Again, I did a separate prediction on that. I do think that of course tensions might be there might be something dodgy happening. I talked about this before, and yes, I do feel like in the world there might be of course as well different more volatile events that could happen during this time as well. Of course, Middle East, all the things we already know, all the existing conflicts going on. And yes, it's like this is world events, but in our own life, again, going back to that, there is also some kind of battle that's happening, some kind of intense battle, conflict, tension within. Like we are torn between two directions to pursue, we have this, like, it's almost like, nothing is new here, but it's a culmination of events that happened before in the past, some kind of one final test perhaps for a lot of us before we can create this new version of ourselves, shift to this better, more empowered version of ourselves perhaps. Because again, remember also, this is the month where Pluto will re-enter Aquarius on November 19th, and it's gonna stay there for the next 20 years or something like that. So intense, like our journey we've been on since 2008, 2009 culminates this week. A lot of timelines culminate this week. And if you're looking also at this month, it's impossible not to know that, of course, the full moon of this month is going to be on November 15 in the sign of Taurus. And that's a pretty intense full moon. Why? Because, of course, first of all, it's pretty close to the star Algol. Not exactly, but Uranus is on Algol. So especially one of the presidential candidates, I will let you guess which one, needs to be extremely careful around this full moon. Again, he is not going to be having the same, activations as in July. But something pretty shocking could be coming out about this. I do really think that he might be in danger also around November 15. Of course, I'm talking about Trump. I did say, I think I was giving a prediction for the August that there was going to be something pretty huge coming up in terms of his attempted assassination, in terms of news. However, that didn't manifest in that kind of fashion, because essentially I was seeing him like as being in the center of spotlight somehow. And I thought it was going to be about that. But that was the week when RFK Jr. endorsed him, so it manifested differently. But yes, November 15, so let's watch what's going to be happening on this date. I can see a scenario even for US presidential election, again, not to make this video about that, where there could be something dodgy happening with votes. I still think that he will win. Somehow it will have to happen, but there could be a journey until this, will fully, will fully be, so to say, cemented, into reality. And there might be some kind of scandals going on. November 15, entire November could be pretty crazy. I don't think it's necessarily as crazy as a lot of astrologers say, but there's definitely some pretty shocking events, especially looking at how later on, November 25th, this is when Mercury is going to go retrograde in Sagittarius, 22nd degree Sagittarius to be precise. It's going to stay there till December 15. And Mars will also enter Leo this month. On November 3rd, November 4th. Mars is going to be in Leo for most of this November, for entire month pretty much, and then it's going to go retrograde right back into the sign of Cancerian in the month of December. So we are in for a ride, buckle up, so to say. I think there might be going some kind of situation where, again, not to make this whole video about politics, but I do think Trump might win and they will try to disqualify him. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be gnarly. Definitely, the other side's not going to go down easy. They have a lot of, I think, war conflicts planned, around the world. So, they will try to do everything they can. I don't recommend anybody live in fear, but, pray. I think also for a lot of us, as much as all of this might be going on, we also might have so much happening in our personal life at the same time, whether, with our family members, whether with, in our personal life in general, finances, and everything else, including certain even spiritual, maybe breakthroughs. So we're going to be busy this month. I feel like November definitely will feel very, very intense. Now, of course, something that I want to say kind of does concern me is, of course, Mercury retrograde in Sag. Mercury is in detriment in Sag. It's not the best during, the election season to have a Mercury retrograde in its detriment sign. It means going back in something. It means maybe recounting something. I hope not. And also something that's notable here, of course, is that it's been disposited here by Jupiter, which is in Gemini. So Jupiter is in Gemini, it's in detriment. Mercury in Sagittarius is in detriment, and we have this retrograde. Mercury will be making an opposition right to Jupiter. It will have a square with Saturn in Pisces. Oh my goodness, it's a lot, so buckle up your seats. Again, it might go I know there's so many astrologers out there who posted this really terrifying predictions. Again, I don't want to say that they are completely just making it up, but again, very often, it's not, it's not as crazy as as we are fearing it, right? We especially, like, I'm a millennial, and like I think my generation in particular, I don't know how about Gen Z. I think Gen Z as well are in the same boat. We've gone through so much, right, in our lifetime, and a lot of us are not even, are like in our early 30s, or a lot of us are not even 40 yet. So I think this too shall pass, and I do think that truth will prevail, so to say, right? Even though, again, there might be some bumpy moments. So yes, have faith and try to stay positive. Another thing to mention, of course, is planet Venus, planet of love, pleasures, is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius for the first 11 days, where it's going to be making a position to Jupiter, and then it's going to shift into the sign of Capricorn, which is more practical, which is more, don't just tell me you love me, show me, and better show me with certain things I'll be impressed with. So we might get more practical when it comes to matters of love. And yes, essentially, let's go into 12 signs now. Let's start with Aries. Let's see what will this month bring to you. So for Aries, you guys, of course, I mentioned this in your new moon of Scorpio horoscopes, there is definitely one of the signs that's from the very beginning of this month is feeling the tension. The first part of the month will probably be pretty challenging for you. There is definitely something between your home, career, financial tensions as well could be, and there is this whole energy where there is definitely a focus on your resources this month, looking at how there is this new moon of Scorpio in your 8th house, full moon in Taurus in your 2nd house, your ruling planet Mars is opposing Pluto, 4th and 10th house axis activated, then you have Mercury retrograde in the 9th house. So it's like there's definitely something for Aries where you're overcoming some kind of issue. Could be related to partnership, could be related to something legal, could be related to school, work, travel. For you of all signs, there definitely could be something happening where you need to re-examine certain belief systems as well. And in general, what's happening in your life where maybe you don't have this balance when it comes to your own resources of other people. Maybe you're overgiving, maybe you're not receiving enough, maybe it's the other way around, maybe you just receive and you don't give enough. Definitely there's going to be some shifts and some changes there. There could be something with your family, there could be some tension there too this month. In general, for Aries, I recommend don't overexhaust yourself this month. You might feel better in the second half of the month, but then again, there's something here, especially when it comes to your creativity, the way you put yourself out there, where you might change your mind later on as we go into December. So take it one day at a time and try not to get provoked. At the same time, examine any kind of limiting beliefs, and just try to stay optimistic. Okay, so for my fellow Taurus, is definitely a month to remember. And it's not, honestly, it depends really what time you were born, when you were born, because if you are like myself, Taurus, born around May 15, this could be the month that could be a little bit a little bit surprising. The full moon is going to be on November 15 in your sign, Taurus, 24 degrees Taurus, very close to Uranus. Something could change, and what it is hard to say. Something could just shift, you could snap. This Uranus been activating Tauruses who were born right around 14, 15, 16 for quite some time now. And essentially, if you have not made a change that Uranus been trying to push you to make, something might happen. We will have to rewatch this video later on in December, maybe even January, to see what's actually going to happen. I am a Taurus sun, and I'll be honest with you, I've been feeling like I'm about to go nuts, especially in the recent past. But, I think in November, let's see what happens. There's, of course, also a new moon. The month actually starts with a new moon in your 7th house in Scorpio. So there could be, opportunities for love, opportunities for dating, opportunities for a new relationship, if this is something you are open to. At the same time, we do have your ruling planet Venus in your 8th house for the first 11 days or so. In the sign of Sagittarius, it's going to be opposing Jupiter in your 2nd house, so it should bring you some financial opportunities for sure. Venus will enter Capricorn, which is your 9th house starting November 11th. So opportunities to improve something, you know, in school, legal could be, it could be opportunities to travel. Again, Venus is your ruling planet, especially if you're raising Taurus. So whatever Venus goes, this is where your attention goes. Okay. And here, I mean, the month looks good for you in terms of attracting new opportunities for money, finances. There will be Mercury retrograde in your 8th house as well, in the sign of Sagittarius, but this is more closer towards the end of the month. So there's definitely something where you're focusing on money this month. You are getting clarity, what's actually going on, you know, what's actually happening financially for you. Taurus typically is a very, you know, stable sign when it comes to money and finances. So, you know, even in this economy. So if there are some issues, you out of all signs need to, you know, are likely going to be fix it relatively quickly, you know, get the economy running, so to say. So good luck, Taurus. I know it's been, I think it's been very tough in terms of knowing that there are certain things you might be feeling this month more than ever, that it's time for certain things in your life to change. But again, it's like, you know, I myself wanted to initiate so many changes in my life, and occasionally it's just like, you know, I am going back and forth how to do it, when to do it, should I even do it. And it's this Uranus that's been in sign of Taurus for a while now, especially at this 26 degrees, which is yuck, you know, yikes. You might feel this inner, how to say, aggravation, like a volcano, like you want to burst. So I know it's like mental health is not necessarily that emphasized right now. Still, watch out for your mental health as well. You know, especially this full moon. I don't know why, but I'm like being specifically, you know, guided to look at it deeper. We definitely will do a separate video for full moon in Taurus, because I think it's going to be pretty gnarly. But big change could come into your life this month. Maybe, you know, for some of you will even meet somebody special. A relationship could be destined partnership that's meant to change your life. Oh, I claim. Anyway, let's go to Gemini now. Okay, Geminis, let's look at your November horoscope. So, of course, you know, for you are not an exception. You are feeling the Mars-Pluto opposition in the beginning of the month. There is a new moon of Scorpio happening for you in your 6th house. So it could start, like the month could start a little bit more in this energy where you might realize like there's something with your finances that's got to shift. Maybe you are looking for a new stream of income, a new job, or you are reorganizing something when it comes to your day-to-day environment. At the same time, of course, the big news of this month is that we are going to have Mercury retrograde. Even though it's going to happen closer towards the end of the month, still Mercury is going to be in shadow for the good part of the month, and you will be feeling this energy. Venus is also going to be opposite Jupiter in your 1st and 7th house axis. This is also where Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius is going to go retrograde in your 7th house. So you have this Jupiter, you have Venus, you have Mercury, your 1st and 7th house is activated. For Gemini rising specifically, there's definitely a very big focus on your partnership, on a relationship, making any kind of changes you need also in your life to, you know, maybe there's a change of lifestyle that's happening right now. With money, with work, there is a very big emphasis on that. At the same time, you're going to be reconsidering maybe something in terms of contracts you have with others, especially more closer towards the end of the month. Like what's, you know, which contracts serve you, which contracts don't, which contracts are fair, what's your belief systems also regarding what's fair, what's not, right? There is a full moon in your 12th house right around November 15. So there could be a feeling of a major let go, chapter end. Of course, usually that's kind of like how it manifests. However, this particular full moon also has Uranus on it, so there might be a little bit more dramatic letting go, not just your like letting go easy, but there could be some kind of more dramatic letting go of something you thought you could not let go before, you know, so it could be very intense. And yeah, I mean, what else? We have Venus going from Sagittarius to Capricorn, so Venus going from your 7th to your 8th house, right about the middle of the month. What is it? November 11, more specifically. So there's focus on, if you are in a partnership, deepening that partnership. You know, again, if you are not in a partnership, if you're going through a breakup, that could be that as well. But yeah, usually, you know, I like the fact that you still have, you know, Jupiter in your sign. So it gives you a little bit of support, a little bit more protection. And yeah, let me know how it goes. Let's go to the sign of Cancerian now. I'd like to hear from you. Okay, for my dear Cancerians, okay, this is the month that's of course important, especially the beginning where we have Mars in your sign opposing Pluto in your 7th house. So there could be some tensions, conflicts with somebody, either business, in terms of business partnerships, marriage partnerships, just people in general who are maybe not agreeing with you on something. There's a little bit of ego clash that the month could be starting with. At the same time, with the new moon of Scorpio in your 5th house, there could be new romantic beginnings, new beginnings in the life of children, new creative beginnings as well, that could, take up a lot of your attention as well this month. We will have full moon in the sign of Taurus in your 11th house this month as well, around November 15. So there could be some unexpected change of direction in terms of goals, plans. Something exciting could be happening around your friends' lives. There could be something pretty shocking maybe even happening with your friends in their lives as well. And Venus will also be making a position to Jupiter, your 6th and 12th house axis, where also Mercury will go retrograde in your 6th house towards the end of the month. So definitely your health, rest versus work is highlighted this month as well. Do take care of your health extra. You might be reconsidering something about your day-to-day. You might be, doing something different when it comes to your work, when it comes to any kind of health regimen, when it comes to the way you take care of yourself, the way you take care of your health. So definitely, yes, there is a little bit of, I don't want to say there's going to be any kind of concern, but yes, Mercury is retrograde, definitely in your, in your 6th, 12th house axis being activated. There's something you need to attend to. It could be just, needing to sleep better. Maybe, don't use social media so much, right? All these things are so important, and we all, to be honest, need to be doing it better. Mars will enter the sign of Leo this month as well for you, which is your 2nd house. So there might be more focus as well on money that you make, your diet, what you're eating. You might go through a little bit of changes there. You might reconsider maybe even workout regimen or diet plan. So let me know how it goes, Cancerian. Let's go into Leo now. Okay, Leo, it's a big month for you, of course, because Mars will enter your sign this month. It will go retrograde later in December, but you will feel like you're on fire. Mars will enter your sign. There's a new moon in the beginning of the month in your 4th house, and then there's a crazy, batshit crazy full moon in your 10th house on November 15. You're definitely going to be the center of attention this month, one way or another. Changes in your career, things culminating with your career, unexpected twists and turns with your career, a surprise perhaps of some sort. Could be when it comes to your career. Big emphasis also on the things that you want to express, things that you want to say. I'm trying to think, of course we know one famous Leo, right? A presidential candidate in the United States. I think there's going to be some very interesting things happening with him. He will be definitely, he's always the center of attention, but this is definitely his month. So let's see what happens. Again, did presidential election. It's a different video. Don't want to get sidetracked here. But yeah, there's definitely, you're in the spotlight. And then again, also with Venus even being in your 5th house for the first half of the month and then going to the 6th, Mercury retrograde in your 5th house in the end of the month. All these houses are being activated. Your 5th house, your 4th, your 10th, your 1st house. So you are going to be very visible this month, for better or for worse. For each person is going to be different. Think about what you want to do, for those of you guys who want to put yourself out there, whether when it comes to career, better career opportunities, whether when it comes to love and dating. Having fun could be also a theme of this month. Having this very intense fun, being outrageous in some way. So have fun, Leos, this month. Again, take care of your health still. You have to watch your health this month still. And let me know how it goes. Okay, for my dear Virgos, this is the month where there are a lot of changes. Some of them you could be anticipating, some of them you are not anticipating. You could be reconsidering your living situation. That's one of the ways it could manifest. You could also be reconsidering your belief systems in general. Also, maybe you see, maybe you realize that where you're currently living, you are done with the place. Actually, I'm a Virgo moon And I, again, not really planning, but I've been thinking about that maybe I'm a little tired of living where I'm living. I've been thinking about, I know it's going to sound crazy, but I've been thinking about like going to California. Again, not in the near future, but I started entertaining the idea that maybe I want to move back to LA. Maybe I want to live in California again. There's been some kind of thought like that. So for you guys, you might definitely be thinking about moving potentially, or just changing something about the very foundation of your life, your home. It could be as simple as just redecorating, reorganizing something. At the same time, with Mars entering the sign of Leo this month, for you it's your 12th house, there could be some, demons of yours, of your subconscious, that could be purging. Mars will be in Leo, and I do feel like you might just do a lot of soul searching this month out of all the signs. Yes, definitely. It's like, there's the 3rd and 9th house activated, right? For you with Scorpio, new moon, and the Taurus full moon. In the 9th, there is this Mars that enters your 12th house. It's going to go retrograde later on there in December. You have this Mercury retrograde in your 4th house. Yes, Mercury retrograde in the 4th house could make you start thinking, okay, time to shift something about my foundation of life, living situation, career changes could be. Venus will enter your 5th house closer towards the second half of the month. So, you might actually decide to put yourself out there, whether creatively or whether with love and dating. Romance, to be honest, there's a Virgo moon. And of course, you check this for your rising first and then sun and moon. I'm not enjoying Saturn and Pisces even the tiniest bit. I actually even remember when Saturn was in Virgo. That was less, that was less annoying than Saturn and Pisces, but it's just me. Maybe let me know in the comments what do you think about Saturn and Pisces, because I've been very kind of jaded. I don't know if it's the theme. I think it might be. Let me know if you if you match the sentiments. But yeah, if you're feeling right now more jaded, more kind of I think there is a reason for that. Now the question is what you do with it, right? And that's a good question that I'm asking myself too. But no, jokes aside, yes, I think with this Mercury retrograde especially, you will be shifting something. Maybe it's, it's as little as you need to rearrange, clean your room, declutter, feng shui, Marie Kondo, your living space. Or maybe you are going to be thinking about moving and changing something far more drastically. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Let's go to Libra now. Wishing you an amazing month. All right, for Libras, this is going to be an interesting month where there's going to be a pretty big focus on your finances, on the money that you make. We do have the new moon of Scorpio, November 1st, and we have the full moon of Taurus, November 15th. So there could be changes within money. There could be changes. There definitely could be some shifts. There could be some tensions as well with home versus career. You could have some disagreements maybe even as well with, with people that you work with. Definitely could be some disagreements. You could maybe not see even eye to eye in terms of like financial matters with a family member. So definitely watch out for that. There could be some kind of power struggle with members of the family or something within, co-workers, not necessarily co-workers, more like people you work with, bosses, even more authoritative figures, and also something within your home, family, living situation. At the same time, for you more than for any other sign, it's important to reconsider something when it comes to your belief systems. Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius is going to be going through your 3rd house. It's going to be retrograde there, more so towards the end of the month. It's going to oppose as well Jupiter. Is going to square Saturn. So there's a lot happening here. There's definitely a lot happening here where you might start seeing how you yourself have limited yourself in some way. The way you communicate maybe doesn't make any sense. Maybe you need to reconsider the way you communicate with others somehow, the way you put yourself out there. And in general for you this month, we also have Venus going from Sagittarius into the sign of Capricorn, which is going to be in your 4th house. There's a lot of focus on family. And again, especially looking at how Venus will go into your 4th house, November 11th, right? It's like, it's going to be better if you are diplomatic, but at the same time, when to put your foot down. That's my advice. And there is definitely a big focus on family this month. Very, very big focus. And it's for better or for worse in terms of like, you might have tension with somebody in your family. You might at first have to like, you know, have a fight or, you know, discuss some things that you've been putting under the rug for a long time. You know, it could even be matters related to inheritances, you know, money, wills, things like this. It's something you already know about. And you might need to do things very quickly as well this month. But again, being more diplomatic, I think this is something that's gonna, you know, go a long way. You're a Libra, you're a sign of diplomacy after all. So let me know how it goes, Libras. Again, don't get scared. You know, I think it's most of the things you already know about. And yes, leave me a comment. Let's go to Scorpio. Okay, my dear Scorpios, happy birthday. Again, we're doing special birthday sale for you, especially 30% off everything in my shop now through October 31st. So hope to see you there. Now, you in this month of November, it's a very active month. Let me just tell you that. Of course, it starts from the very beginning, November 1st. The new moon in your sign. Those of you guys who were born around November 1st, you will feel it a lot because this will be the new moon that will activate this new beginning, new chapter. Some of you will be rebranding yourself. You will be thinking about how to shift things, change things. I'm a Scorpio rising. Let me tell you something. It resonates. That's all that I've been I've been thinking about lately. You know, how to change your image, how to change the way people may perceive you, even as well. You will also have full moon in your 7th house, 24 degrees Taurus, November 15. It could bring you changes within relationships, maybe an unexpected closure of a relationship, maybe unexpected shift of relationship. Somebody could be suddenly proposing, or you could suddenly be breaking up. Again, this will depend on your individual chart. Of course, the month also starts with your ruling planet Mars opposing your, you know, another modern ruler, right, Pluto, November 3rd. Mars opposite Pluto in your 3rd and 9th house. Mars is in your 9th, Pluto is in your 3rd. There could be some big tensions. I would definitely recommend to watch out for your mental health this month more than ever. Again, as a Scorpio rising, just want to share mental health been at an absolute, you know, at an absolute bottom. So yeah, I think that, you know, for a lot of you, there is this definite tension. It could be just, you know, the way you see yourself, where you are in life versus where you want to be. You could feel like you're not doing enough. You could feel like everything sucks, quite literally. You know, Scorpio does go sometimes into this mindset. Be careful with that mindset. I think for a lot of you, this is a culmination of all these battles, especially in your mind, you know, that you've been having for the past, you know, how many years, since 2008 when Pluto entered Capricorn initially. Pluto will be re-entering Aquarius on November 19, which is your 4th house. So there's definitely a shift. At the same time, I think what's interesting is that we will have a big activation of your 2nd and 8th house axis this month as well, which is money. More specifically, you will be starting the month with Venus Jupiter opposition in your 2nd and 8th house. So definitely, if you need more money, well, of course, you know, put yourself out there in whichever way you can to make more money. But also, if you quite literally need to ask somebody for money, I don't know, partner, like family members, do that, because there's something here about Jupiter in your 8th house which wants you to activate resources of other people more. You know, I'm actually reflecting on this Jupiter in Gemini myself. I have this in my chart too, and I used to be so comfortable receiving from other people, and then I went into this freaking independent mode. And I don't know, this was a recent realization that it probably was the worst and most stupid thing I've ever done in my life. Because, like, why do you exhaust yourself so much when you can just receive? But of course, it will depend also on your own individual 8th house. But there is something with the 2nd and 8th house axis where you might just, you know, really start thinking how much, you know, you give versus how much you receive. Do you like, what's your relationship with, you know, having other people help you more, perhaps receiving, you know, 8th house rules things like resources of other people, you know, and 2nd house rules the money we make through our own talent. So there's something definitely that's going to be, you know, happening in that department. Also, Mercury will go retrograde November 25th to December 15 in your 2nd house. So it's more towards the end of the month, but again, Mercury will already be in shadow period through this month. So again, there's something with money that you will be very focused on. You will be thinking about, you know, how you are currently making money. Is this enough for you? You know, again, in this economy, in the United States, if you're in the United States, probably you might be, you know, feeling a little bit more like something's gonna change in a big way. So yes, overall it does look like big focus on relationship, big focus on finances, on money, big focus on your belief system. Travel plans could be. Good luck, Scorpios. Happy birthday. Again, if you want to change your life, if you want to rebrand yourself more specifically, and if you want to also manifest a change in your relationships, definitely this is your month. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Let's go to Sagittarius. Okay, my dear Sagittarius, so this is, your birthday month too, just like Scorpio's month too, and this is definitely a very important month for you, because yes, we will have Venus in your sign for the first 11 days. We will also have Mercury retrograde in your sign, towards the end of the month, so very big focus on you. At the same time, your 12th and 6th house axis in your horoscope is going to be activated with new moon of Scorpio November 1st and full moon of Taurus November 15th. So there is definitely a focus and an emphasis on work versus, rest. How much you work versus how much you rest is going to be emphasized this month. We will have, again, I think the most important part here, of course, is Venus in your sign and also Mercury retrograde that begins in your sign towards the end of this month. So there is something here where, again, you might be reconsidering your current lifestyle choices, perhaps even as well the way you see yourself, the way you present yourself to the world, your relationships. Are they balanced or are they not balanced? Jupiter has been, transiting your 7th house since May of 2023. Sorry, May 2024. I'm getting lost in my years. May 2024. And it has expanded your sense of self through partnerships. There were likely a lot of partnership opportunities. Let me know if it's true or not. And yes, this is the month where you might be making a decision regarding partnership, regarding, where you are with that partnership. Because again, the Mercury here that's going to go retrograde in your sign is the ruler of your 7th house. So your partnerships will definitely be very important this month, and you might be likely making some pretty big changes this month as well. With 6th and the 12th house being activated, you might also need to face some kind of fears of yours, maybe fears related to self-worth, how you value yourself, how you see yourself. Overall, it's a pretty interesting month. Of course, whenever you have Mercury going retrograde through your sign, whenever there are activations of your sign, it always brings certain reflection on where you are on your journey. Are you happy with something? And if you are not happy with something, you out of all signs know that you can change things. Let me know how it goes. Happy early birthday, Sagittarius, and let's go to Capricorn. All right, my dear Capricorns, what a big month for you. Of course, it starts with Pluto culminating its journey through your sign, where it's been since 2008. This is it. On November 14 or 15? No, sorry, November 19. On November 19, Pluto is gonna enter Aquarius and is gonna leave your sign for good. For like 200, 300 years, you don't have to worry about it. So, that's pretty big. So think about it. The journey you've been on since 2008. What have you learned? How have you grown? And of course, this journey ends with a bang, because it's going to make an opposition at 29th degree to Cancerian in your 7th house. So maybe there's some kind of final change, final transformation of partnerships, the way you perceive partnerships, the way you see partnerships. It is definitely important for you to take care of yourself during this month, because yes, you could also be a little bit more crisis prone right now. You need to see what actually makes you happy, because there's so much that might be going on. You, Capricorn, out of all signs, might be always busy, but there's something also about Venus that's going to be in the 12th house and then go into your 1st house, and also Mercury retrograde happening in your 12th house towards the end of the month. There is something here that tells you, hey, let's just slow down for a little bit. Let's just, instead of running, for the next goal, constantly being busy, let's just slow down and reflect. So slowing down and reflecting on this huge journey you've had might be very much the theme of this month. So let me know, Capricorns, how it goes. Of course, it is so huge. I don't even have enough words, to be honest, to express how huge it is that Pluto enters, Aquarius and, just leaves your sign for good now. Let me know, what have you personally experienced since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008? How has it impacted your life? What is it, your rising, your sun or moon? Let me know. I'll be very curious to learn. Now let's go to Aquarius, sun, moon, rising. Okay, my dear Aquarius rising, Aquarius, sun and moon. What a huge month. Pluto will be re-entering your sign, where it's going to stay for good now. On November 19th, Pluto re-enters Aquarius, your sign. So those of you guys who are early born Aquariuses or people with Aquarius early degrees, you guys will feel it. There will be that like, okay, daddy is back, so to say. Daddy is back, and have you been misbehaving? Because if you've been misbehaving, you know, Pluto is the kind. Pluto will put, you know, the kinks and the handcuffs on you, but I'm just joking here. However, Pluto is this heavy energy which you will feel likely, especially because Mars will also enter Leo this month as well. Mars in Leo will be in your 7th house, where it will go retrograde later in December. So there is definitely some kind of, you know, Pluto re-entered Aquarius, Mars is entering Leo, where it's going to go retrograde. There is going to be, especially for early born Aquariuses, some pretty big shift, some pretty big change when it comes to your partnerships, contracts with other people. It's definitely not so easy. You know, you might be feeling like, I thought everything was going great. And if there are some kind of roadblocks or challenges, they could appear this month. Again, don't be discouraged by them. There will be a way out of this, but you will see very clearly who is with you, who is not with you. There is definitely going to be with Pluto a little bit of this power struggle. At the same time, Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius this month, which for you, of course, has to do with your 11th house, friendships, goals, communities. Venus is going to be there as well for the big part of the month until it goes to Capricorn, which is your 12th house. So definitely a very big focus on goals, friends, people who are there for you versus people who are not there for you. You're going to start seeing something. You're going to start maybe seeing some changes within a friend circle. You know, who are you people, who are your communities? It's going to be a very, very big focus of the month. At the same time, you know, it's like this is the month where you might reconsider yourself, some of your current engagements, for lack of a better word. For some of you, there might be an awareness that, you know, it's time for me to find new friends, new group, new community, maybe new audience even could be. And you will definitely be focused on that. Let me know how it goes to Aquarius. Good luck this month. I know with Pluto entering your sign, you might be all like, you know, getting ready for this. Let's go to the sign of Pisces now. Okay, for Pisceans, more than for any other sign, especially for risings, there's definitely something brewing when it comes to career, when it comes to work, when it comes to needing to reconsider perhaps something about career, about, you know, what you're currently focused on and engaged with as it is pertaining to your career. So there might be some shift there, might be some change there. Definitely with Mercury retrograde especially. You might be like, okay, it's time for me to redo this whole thing. Again, you know, there's a big focus on your finances as well still. Also with the new moon in your 9th house and the full moon in your 3rd house, there could be some new projects perhaps even presented to you, or you could be closing some project. You could be working with new people during this time. You could be changing your belief system about something, implementing new belief system, especially looking at how full moon is going to be in your 3rd house. For some of you, you might close certain chapter when it comes to a project, a work project, maybe, especially if it has to do with social media, kind of passion project. You could be closing that in the month of November. Especially, and it's going to carry over also into December, is something that I'm getting here. What else do I want to say here? Yes, definitely, you know, it's like it's maybe for some of you it could even be going back to school type of situation, you know, with new moon in your 9th house, and then also Mercury retrograde in 10th house. You might decide to take a class, you might decide to actually engage in a master's program even, because you definitely are thinking a lot about your career, about your income, and this has been a theme already for you for quite some time. And now it does feel like this is the month where it could very much escalate and culminate, and you might decide to finally make that shift, make that change. Let me know how it's going, Pisces. Let me know what you are specifically dealing with this month. As always, check out your rising, sun and moon, all big three, you know, to get a more complete picture. It's of course very general. If you need a personal chart consultations, everything in my shop is 30% off now through October 31st. I love you all guys so much. Let me know in the comments what you're dealing with, what you're going through. I'll be very curious to learn about this. Give this video a big thumbs up and share this, because as you can see, my channels are going through a very big transformation as well. Definitely here. You know, we're not exempt from transformations, but it's all for the better at the end of the day. Let's be positive. Let's try our best to be as positive as we can this month. Let's try to help each other. Let's try to be there for each other. Understand that everybody is going through something. You know, it's like we get sometimes so focused right on ourselves, which we should be focused on ourselves, but sometimes we forget that everybody is dealing with something. So let's be kind, let's be considerate, let's try to help each other with very small things. If you guys want to help me, please share my videos, please support my Patreon. Scorpion. Subscribe, give this video a big like. There's many ways you can support and donate to the channel, support this channel, support my work. I will really appreciate it. I love you all so much. I'm wishing you amazing November. May you and your loved ones be always safe, loved, protected, and happy. We'll talk soon. Bye.